A man dressed as a security guard successfully stole $500,000 from an armored truck in Detroit. According to reports, the suspect lifted the cash from the back of a Greektown Casino armored truck and then calmly walked away. According to the authorities, it was a larceny as opposed to a robbery. No weapon was used, no threats, no force, and no injuries. Right now, police have absolutely no description of the suspect. They're hoping that the surveillance will give them a better sense of who this was, and hopefully they can catch him.
How do they even know he was dressed as a security guard?
That's
they don't know who he is.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's the way it's being reported, but it's just so funny to me that all he did was calmly walk up to the back of this armored truck, steal $500,000 in bags, and then walk away. He wasn't even in a car.
Yeah, when you hear that, you automatically try to think of what happened right before. That like they're walking into a Krispy Kreme or whatever. He's like, should we shut the door? It'll be fine. You worry too much, kid. Like, the door is just leave it open. They won't go. They'll be scared. There's always people watching. They don't have a camera in the truck.
Yeah.
You can't put a GoPro on a little plastic mount and just have it on the bags of cash.
So this man should be everyone's spirit animal. Not because what he did was right.
No, what he did's wrong.
Listen to what I have to say. Let me make a case for myself.
Okay.
What he did was wrong and criminal, and I condemn it. However, there's a lesson to be learned here. And the lesson is that we think too hard, and we try too hard, and we need to simplify. Just simplify, because simplicity wins in the end, okay? All of us like working hard every day, and we're just like, oh my God, I want to be the best I can be. I want to educate myself. And no, just calm the fuck down, okay?
Rob a truck.
Like just simplify your life. And when no one's looking, just fucking scam them.
Yeah.
And it works.
Okay.
That's not really the lesson. Okay, I'm fucking around.
I was going to bring up the possibility that this is going to inspire a wave of copycat attacks. If it wasn't going to, now it's going to.
No.
Yeah, how many people are going to look at that truck the next time they see it and think, it wouldn't be that hard?
We overthink our lives.
What is amazing to me is how, based on appearance, we react in certain ways. So like this guy bought some costume of a security guard, and so nobody questioned that he's going up. Even if the people were around, the ones who were actually the guards, they didn't question. So you can just do that. I found out, I worked catering at a university, and I found that if you just walk around, you'll get stopped going into sensitive places where you're not supposed to be. If two people hold a chair between them like they're moving furniture, nobody questions where they're going because they assume you're doing work. Little tricks like that.
Yeah.
That potentially use that. Maybe walk up to an armored truck with a chair between two people. You can rob them blind. Yeah, people don't question things if they look like the person has, if they're confident, if they have authority. They just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
The dude was walking down the street with bags with money signs on it. So some people, I think, are going to hear this and say, good. He did the right thing. If you can rob a bank, they've been robbing us. And I don't agree with that. We were talking earlier about, there's a story, maybe JR will remember this. An armored truck full of money tipped over on the highway or whatever, and money just went all over the place. And so people on the highway were gathering up money. And I could be misquoting him, but I believe that Jenk said that that's a good thing. That if it's there, you're not hurting any individual person. It's this massive bank that's robbing everybody. But it still feels wrong. Maybe I still defer too much to authority. I'm a rules follower, I guess.
You're
with
right.
Pirating.
You're right, and that's the wrong thing to do. And despite my ridiculous commentary, what I really think is what this guy did was wrong, and I hope that they catch him. And I stand by my opinion of how we do need to simplify our lives.
I guess fellow bad guy over here, Ja'Cory mentioned, there's good and bad things happening in the world, right? When someone finds something, or if you find a $100 bill, maybe you even saw the person that dropped it, what percentage of people would rush to give it back? You know, it depends on what situation you're in, because it goes back to the argument of your need, where crime starts, where things like that happen. If people have a need, or if they've been in a position where they feel they don't have an opportunity to do things, that's when a lot of times some crime it's bred. So, I mean, there's people who get away with things that do white-collar crime, and they know they're doing something wrong. It's with such large amounts of money that the anger comes in, which it is wrong. I agree with you, John, to do anything criminal. But when you see people openly get away with crimes just because of the position they're in and the amount of money they already do have, and they don't even need this more money, someone could think, well, this is minor compared to the things that the real big-time criminals are getting away with. And so that's at least where the motivation, at least that's where the feeling comes from. Where the first thing that most Americans, as we know the situation most Americans are in, would think, I deserve it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
screwed so much. But it's still wrong, obviously, because it's still a crime.
Of
But,
course.
So that's where people, I think, would fall in.
That goes through my mind every time I loan money to a friend. Like, I make sure that the interest that I'm charging isn't fixed. That way, like, in a month or so, if they haven't paid me back in full yet, I'll just charge them like 120% in interest. And then if they can't pay me, fuck it, I'm taking your house, bitch. I'm making a reference to subprime mortgages.
Oh, okay. I was like, I guess I've never borrowed money from you. Jesus Christ.